They're doing it. They're doing it. Doing it like a preacher man. Doing it on a one-night stand. Doing it like old grandpa. Doing it like a fly on the wall. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day. Everybody doing it, doing it, doing it. Everybody doing the day. They're doing it like the FBI. They're doing it act like Superfly. Doing it for a second chance. Doing it for a song and dance. Doing it like a big fat lie. They're doing it on a phony smile. They're doing it in an automobile. They're doing it on 4 flat wheels. Everybody.
All right, we're going in now. You guys eat that pizza. It's incredible. Hello, everybody. Hey, whoa, what a day. What a night. Boy, it sounds so cool here. I love my wife. She's just too right all the time. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, honestly, I love it. I love it. She's got everything. How you guys doing? All right? Good. So anyway, a taco walks up to a shiny mouse and says, "What you got cooking?" And the mouse says, "Okay, can you loan me a watermelon?" And the taco says, "No." I've always been an optimist. I mean, really forever. But you know, it just seems like nothing makes no sense anymore. The fabric of society is falling apart. And the market has dropped 2,000 points in 2 days. And nobody knows what's happening now. You know, it's days like this that I'm so pleased that I can do a TV show and talk about what's happening. We rely on people who prove themselves to us over the years. Folks, we've been around. Folks, we know who they are. Groovy Judy's been playing all over the West Coast, and she ain't messing around. She's for real. She does her music because she loves you. She does her music because she loves you. Groovy Judy is with us this evening. Put your hands together for her, please. Yeah. This lady has brought her style, her new book, her social activism, her poetry, her husband's poetry, as well as her spur-of-the-moment artwork. In our studio today, she'll read and talk with us. Ann Cohen is with us tonight. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. I don't know how long it's gonna be till the sun comes out and makes eternity something better, something pleasurable, something else. Yeah, some way. Yeah, so we can all stand up and say, this feels really good. This feels like I'm home with it already. like it's there. I'm just digging where that's going to be coming from, and I'm hoping that what we will be doing tonight will take us there. By the way, the end of the show, we'll run a little tape on Ron Thompson. He fell into a diabetic coma, and he passed away not too long ago. His was a force to not reckon with. Yeah, he was on the show a number of times over the years. You know, we've been doing this 30 years. It's the longest running live primetime musical variety television show in America. Ron was right with us. So we'll do that at the end of the show. Put your hands together, please, for a wonderful lady. She's going to give us a little bit of the sound that she does. Really a great picker. Groovy Judy and her group are with us this evening. Put your hands together.
Soul. Love, I am love. Open up and let my spirit flow. Love is good, love is free. Giving love is who I'm meant to be. I am on a mission, can't you see? Come on and join me. Feel it in my spirit deep inside. Love, I am love. Happy thoughts are flowing through my mind. Love is something you can't buy. It's a feeling and a state of mind. Let's tune into that positive vibe of love. Come on and let it shine. Let it shine, everyone. Yeah. Can you feel the love vibration we're putting out tonight? Yeah. We feel it. We feel it. We're going to sing about it right now. Everybody join me. Love, I am love. Love, I am love. Oh, that sounds beautiful. Keep singing. Love, I am love. Love. Yes, you are, yeah! Love, I am love. Feeling in my heart and in my soul. Love, 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 I am love. I open up and let my spirit flow. Love is good, love is free. Giving love is who I'm meant to be. I am on a mission, can't you see? come on and join me. Yeah! Jimmy had a sister, I know she'd be like me. Someone who could play the guitar and sing about being free. Jimmy had a sister, I know just what she'd do. She'd play guitar all day long, and Lord, she'd make a groove, yeah. Jimmy had a sister, she'd be like me. Like me, walking tall and dressing funky, 'cause that's the way to be. She'd eat and breathe the sweet guitar all day and all night. She'd rock and roll herself to death, y'all. So she kinda got it right, hey. Jimmy had a sister, look out. Jimmy had a sister. Jimmy's been gone for some time now, and though I miss him so, every day I live his life through his music and all his precious words. So I'll be Jimmy's sister until the day I rest, playing guitar and being groovy. Jimi Hendrix was the very best, yeah! Jimmy had a sister, look out. Jimmy had a sister. She'd be like me.
close-up on Judy's latest release. We're going to be doing a little talking with her. Groovy Judy, love, love. That's E-V-O-L. What? That's L-O-V-E. Wow. Hey, by the way, I'll let you kids know, particularly if you're going to sit around and do a little bit of talking. Sunday, March the 1st, the Super 60s Sunday. Yeah, it's 6 p.m. It looks like to 9 p.m. This is like, you know, the old-timey stuff, the groovy old stuff. Yeah, Groovy Judy Band will be there. And then another group called The Collective at the Club Fox. It's like the old Fox Theater right next to it. I dig it. I dig what they're doing down there, Redwood City, California. Yeah, huh? That's a beautiful thing. I'm just so happy that that's happening. The area that Judy's been playing up in our area, people are just loving what Judy is doing and bringing her band up there. So we'll talk about that, and we'll see what's what. Yeah, we'll see what's what. Judy used to work on this show forever. Yeah, my God. And Groovy's all Judy are hooked up, and we'll just do some talking right now. Good to see you. Put your hands together for Judy.
Brucey.
Hi, dear. Hi, hi, dear.
How are you, darling?
Thank you, thank you. Oh,
Nice to see you.
you look great. You look great, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
you.
for having us.
People.
Really
Oh, this is a big deal because you're just, you know, you're part of the scene. You've been with this station here forever, and then you're out and you know, I mean, remember years ago when well, you know, I taught you how to play music, of course, and
Yes.
and then.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be up on that stage.
Well, I know, and that's why you get your fingers done at Holy Cross place for fingers.
That's right.
Now, yeah, so yeah, you're going everywhere on the West Coast. So how many gigs do you think you've had all year?
Oh, well, for this year, I don't even know how many we have.
It's too early, huh?
Well, my bass player, Marty, likes to keep track. But I think last year it was close to 120.
Gee, that's really good.
Like
Dave Crimmon's out. He did about 300s last year. He
know,
does
he's got
so
me beat.
many things. That's all right.
I'm fine with that.
So you're gigging everywhere. That's fantastic.
Yes, and as you mentioned, I'm coming up to where, you know, your neck of the woods.
I know, and the people dig you.
I
You know,
I'm so
that's really
appreciative
cool.
Of them. The vibe is great. You know, everyone's super cool.
And you know, to put a young lady out in front of people is playing this really heavy-duty guitar, and you're doing incredible.
Well, thank you.
Oh.
We're having fun for sure.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, who are the folks in the group? I know your hubby's there.
Yes, he's playing percussion. That's Pete, the redhead.
Yeah, yeah.
And then back on the drums, we've got Kelly. And on bass, we have Marty.
Marty. Yeah, Marty's a nice
Yeah,
kid.
thank you.
Yeah, huh? Boy. He looks. He really looks good. You know, he's done quite a lot in his life. And
Yes, he has.
oh,
It's that
yeah.
city living, you know, keeps you young,
Oh,
vibrant.
I think that's probably it. We don't live up there, but I know it. They say
Yeah.
it's really incredible.
It is, yes.
God, yeah. So the kind of music you're doing is, you do a lot of the oldies.
I do.
And
That's
then-
why I love it. I'm Groovy Judy, for goodness sakes.
Yeah,
I got to do some oldies.
yeah, that's right. But I'm thinking you're also you're doing some, in your practice this evening. You did what seemed like a newer song. Maybe I hadn't heard it before.
No. We do throw in, you know, when we have cover gigs, we do a couple of current tunes, but mostly we stick to the 60s and 70s.
I like it.
And some 80s,
yeah.
you know.
People-
The 80s is popular again, so, you know,
And that's how it goes, isn't it?
that's how it goes.
Yeah. Jeez.
Everything comes back around, you know. I'm waiting for the 60s to have like this big explosion again, and then I'll be ready. I'll be
yeah,
right
huh?
there,
Yeah, huh?
right?
Yeah, Paisleys and all that stuff. Yeah. Well, I just think it's great, and why not? I like the older songs,
I do too.
and then how people do them it's another thing I
Yeah,
like.
and actually a lot of current artists will cover some of those old songs, and they'll do an excellent job of it and make it sound fresh and new again.
Yeah, and that's important.
Yeah.
And maybe when they do get to the 60s, that will happen. Yeah. Oh boy. So the Club Fox.
Yes.
I used to go down at the Fox Theater and go to see the movies.
I know, right?
Yeah. And there's
I
this
didn't live on the
weird
peninsula at
guy
that
working
time, but
down
I know
there.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and we used to hate him. I can't remember his name, but we'd throw stuff at him, and
Oh,
we would go up on the top balcony up there, and
Uh-huh.
you know, they used to take down your pants and
oh
show
right.
everybody in the audience.
And moon them? Is that what you
Mooning, yeah,
did?
mooning.
Mooning. Oh
And
my
then throwing
God.
throwing popcorn over the edge, you know.
I haven't heard that term in a long time.
I know, huh? God, what a funny thing.
Mooning and streaking, all that stuff.
Well, you're doing a lot. What's going on with your style of playing? You don't just pick up a guitar. Did you learn from somebody individual, or did you just look at people?
Well, my greatest teacher were the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix, really.
Well, I mean,
and I'm
after
still
Latimer.
learning from them. But yeah, mostly I'm self-taught, and I had a couple of short lessons along the way.
Yeah.
But I just keep playing, because if you keep playing, you get better, hopefully.
Well, your voice is really, really, really coming along well.
Well, thank you.
And your guitaring is really sweet. It's great how it's coming out. Putting them two together is pretty heavy duty. And Mom and Dad never played music, right?
Yeah, Mom was a singer, actually, big band singer.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where I get my singing talent from. And then Dad played a little bit of ukulele and a little bit of accordion. So.
Ukulele and accordion.
An
okay.
accordion. I have his accordion.
He never had many friends.
That's right. He did not. He
Yeah.
went to jail a lot.
Yes. Well, that's
Poor guy.
the way a lot of those people are.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So you did have a little. I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah.
In your background, to sort of hold on to take the next step, which you've done, to be who you are right now.
Yes. I've been doing music full time now for 16 years. Thank God.
I like it. Yeah, that's
I'm
what
very
I was
lucky to be able to do it. You know, I teach music and I play music.
Do you plan now to play music all your life?
Of course. Of course. You do too. I
Well,
know. You play guitar, so you
yes,
know.
of course.
You're never going to stop.
No, I just got off a tour in Paris and Rio.
Yes. 2 places I want to go. I'm jealous.
Well, at some point you just put in, do the hard work.
Okay.
Now
That's why I keep coming here, Bruce, because you just give me all the right answers.
I try to, and that's why we're together. We're friends.
That's right. When we're not, forget about
We're not. There's some stuff going down, and we'll talk about it later. Anyway, yeah. Well, that's cool. We are friends, and we've
Yes,
been
we
doing
are.
this, and this
Thank
is
God.
our
Thank God for you, Bruce.
998
I love you
show.
so much.
We love you so much.
And I'm so glad that you had all these years to do this fantastic show here in Pacifica. We're gonna miss you when you're not here.
Thank you.
So thank you for everything.
Groovy. Thank you. Groovy Judy, put your hands together for her, please. Don't go away because, oh my God, don't rub those hips on me.
I know.
Oh my God. Groovy Judy. Yeah, huh? God. We've been so blessed having people come down. It's not a big money issue. It's a big feeling issue. It's the way it's always been, for the most part. Okay, I cheated once in a while, and sometimes I have to give a few bucks to somebody here and there. Our next guest, God, she doesn't need any intro, but she does, because some people are not hip, not awake, and don't know what her scene is. She's really a social activist. She was with the hip scene way back when. Her husband was Alan Cohen, just an incredible writer, the editor of the Oracle. Alan passed away 16 years ago. I can't believe it. And she's carrying on with what she does. She's a painter or a printer, and she goes to some place where people are playing music or whatever, and she draws these people right on the spot. You understand? Pretty cool stuff. She's got a new book out as well. She does everything, and she's not a rich Lola Baba. When she went back to Paris and hung out there, and then got the money together and did that sort of thing. And she didn't have hundreds of millions. Her book now is called I Do See You. She's on our stage right now. Please put your eyes on her. Ann Cohen is with us now. Thank you.
It's so good to be here with you, Bruce, and Judy was incredible. So I'm going to read some of Alan's poetry, 20 After. It's 20 after. Where are you? Where are you on this beautiful planet? Are you making peace or war? How did you get here? What are you supposed to do? It's 20 after. Albert Hoffman has stopped his bicycle and he's watching his mind and the world change. It's 3 years after the 20th century, and the time has come for the resurrection of the human soul and the healing of the planet. Creation, innovation, manifestation. Make it, do it. Isn't that true? The next one's called The Gift for the Dalai Lama in Gratitude for the Teaching that he embodies. This was October 1st, 1979. Everyone wants to be God King and smile and be compassionate and be more tender and open inside, though life feels more like steel than a blossoming flower, chrysanthemum, a rose, a simple daffodil. A closed bud opens its nakedness to the sky, and it caressed by bees and butterfly. Its delicate petals flutter to the earth, and its seed is taken by mud and wind. The flower's beauty is gone, except its memory lives on through the forgetfulness of ice, and it reappears again in time's next meadow. Life then circles and reoccurs, and the God King abound inside the petals of the rose. Next one is called Chainsaw. It's September 19th, 1997. A neighbor in the backyard is chainsawing the voluptuous branches of his elm tree. He did it a couple of years ago, but it grew back to about the same size as his first cut. The noise churns through the air, frightening the geese and ducks and making it difficult to concentrate. Focusing was difficult this week with the immersion of the deaths of Princess Diana and Mother Teresa. That was 1997. So much goodwill has seeped through the veil. We can't afford the loss. Today, the Congolese dictator Mobutu died of prostate cancer with his stolen billions unspent, ridding the world of some of its evil. But the loss of that goodness seems so much graver than the relief gained from the loss of Mobutu. The selflessness and the sacrifice of the good is so much more rare than the greed and hatred of a tyrant. The chainsaw is still roaring and belching. The tree is becoming naked and angry. The world, as its people, are linked closer together with satellites sending images at the speed of light, and the MIT students helping to build the internet for China is emerging in this planetary, mystic moment and getting restless, like a new being waiting to be born. I didn't realize that the MIT put together the internet for China. I didn't know that. Okay, now the next one I'm going to read is called Cole Street Saint. Walking down Cole Street any sunny day, nobody knows for how long, you can see if your eyes are open, Charlie, the Cole Street Saint, usually hanging in on a bench or a stoop or rolling down the street towards the ice cream parlor or waddling up the street to the Zen's bakery. He looks like Humpty Dumpty, hastily put back together again. But if you're addicted to appearances, you might see what is rudely called a mongoloid idiot and feel a twinge of pity and walk away into the obsession of your own darkness. But if you walk right up to Charlie, he'll light you up like a candle in a dark room. He will pierce your street armor and you will be a naked child again, red face smiling, tongue hanging out. He will take your hand and throw his arms around you as if you were his prodigal son returning. He will press you firmly against his body, and if you close your eyes, he will light you up. He will hug you again until there is enough sunlight for you to melt the most frozen heart. Charlie is the cheapest saint in town. Now, the last one I'm going to read is the Bruce Latimer Show. tribute to a magical isle after 600 shows through William Shakespeare and Mike Somavilla. Shooting down the coast toward San Francisco on Highway 1, the ocean kissing the darkening beaches as the sun sets its rays dart towards the waves and the sky's golden, and stand-up bass lying quietly in its cover in the back of the Honda, heading to Pacifica Studio to play on the Bruce Latimer's community cable variety show. Anne, wearing white Grecian dress, looking like a goddess, plays the bass, and I, dressed in rainbow tie-dyes, read elegy for Ginsberg or Garcia or the latest political rant, hand poking the air. Then we move to Bruce's fortress desk and talk about the 60s or the Oracle or children or Anne's drawings or painting. Bruce, cool, no sweat. No sweat, the crew hovering behind the camera. Prospero on his magical isle, fingers keeping track of time. The next act waiting on deck, 600 shows, a cast of 1,000. We could be followed or preceded by rambling Jack Elliott, his cowboy hat aging on his head, or Al Jazzbo Collins, making his last appearance before he joins the jazz band in heaven, or Country Joe singing to prevent more wars, or Frumius Vandersnatch ready rocking the Berkeley, or the many veterans of the San Francisco Sound, Mike Wilhelm of the Charltons, Jerry Garcia of the Moby Dick, Darby Slick of the Great Society, Sam Andrews of Big Brother, Jorma Kubengen of Jefferson Airplane, Lisa Kindred singing the blues, Chet Helms, impresario of the 60s, George Mikowski accompanying everyone with 1,000 fingers on the piano, Rock Scully from inside the Grateful Dead, Zero taking the sounds into the 90s, J.C. Flyer, chronicle of the music and playing his country band. Pacific fog surrounds the studio, the ghosts have risen and life comes back. Bruce waves his arm like Bracerio requiring a heavenly music. He has brought us forth to the elves and the angels and the known and the unknown and the should be known and the never was known and never should be known. And by his poignant art and rough magic has worked his purpose upon the world's senses. Alan Cohen, thank you so much.
Okay. Oh, that's it. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I especially like that one. I like them all. I was close with Alan, so it was great to have her read some of the stuff. And now she's going to sit next to me, and then we're going to talk over what she's got things in that she's been writing. As I do see you, Alan, Ann Cohen. Warning, if you are friends with me, there is a good chance you're in my drawings. I've certainly been in the drawings, and we have a bunch of them at home, and it's sure pleasing. She does some great little pictures of this, with people, and then writes sort of what they're all about. I'm big on it. Ann's sitting next to me now. Let's talk about what Ann is all about. Ann Cohen, thank you for being here. What's this?
I did draw you.
Oh, you draw me? Yeah, huh?
There you
Nice.
are, and there's the band tonight, Groovy Judy.
Yeah, Groovy Judy, wow.
They were fun. And then I almost spilt blue all over everything. Remember when we were out and I spilled yellow and you guys helped me pick it up, clean it up?
That's all right. Well, you got yourself on some red now. Was that some paint or whatever?
Yeah, I got paint.
We're going to have maybe the people in the that do the directing. They can go and they can play like when they were little kids and put it all over, stuff like that. They would like it.
Yeah.
They're sort of child weird.
Well, they were putting the Gallic. They was doing a movie in San Francisco, and I was painting, And this woman came up to me and she said that she was a makeup artist, and she said, "Did you know that you have paint all over you?"
Wow.
And she just whipped out her clean and just cleaned me right up.
Isn't that cool? Wow. We've done, they have been doing some stuff up in San Francisco lately.
Galactic? I think
Oh, I
that's
can
what
put
it's
this
called.
away? Oh, I got it. Yeah. I don't know. It's, that was,
It was called, one of them was called Galactic, and I guess that's an
some guy that's
Amazon-
been doing 2 or 3 of them, and this is a big deal. And
Yeah.
you know, I pull back on any of that because it's not my gig, and just because it might be a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't enjoy, that's not the point. People are getting work, they're getting a job, they're doing this, fine. It's really fine that you put together your little book. Well, how did you come across this? I do see you, and that you put your drawings in there, right?
Yeah, I do. I draw on the moment. Now, a lot of this is done in North Beach because I live in North Beach.
Yes.
But then I went with the pranksters down to Venice Beach, and we rented a house. That was quite an experience, renting a house with the pranksters.
But when was that?
That was in January, because that
Jeez.
book is just December
Yeah,
and January, not all of January.
Again, but the pranksters are still around.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. They put me in the room with the people that were snoring, because that puts me right to sleep. I had no problem with
Very
that.
nice, very nice. And you've done so many different things in your life, but one of them, to me, you're sort of a social activist. You're a person who has lots of optimism. I've had it, but I started off on kind of not really good things with the human beings in America, and then all over the world, and that. But you're very strong, and you didn't grow up with big time money. So like when you went to Paris to see a friend of ours, yours, and Barry.
Yeah,
And
Barry
he just
Melton.
lost his wife, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, Barbara. Just lost Barbara.
So you saved your money and you did this. You didn't go, it's just cool. It's a great way to travel. It reminded me of the 30s or 40s or 50s or something.
Yeah, well, I bought a one-way ticket to Paris the year before.
Hi.
And by the time it was time for me to go in May, it was all paid for. It was great. I took care of it.
I like it. No, it's sweet. That's the way it should be. A lot of people, they get everything right thrown in their lap. They don't know what in the world they even have. And it's different. You know?
I love people all over the world, and
Yeah, I
I
know,
really
huh?
like to draw them and see them and go to those communities. It's important to me.
It is important, and especially for me, because you do it at the moment, right
I
now.
do.
Right now.
Yep.
And that's a big time deal to me, because some people, you can't get the great artist. You'll have to take time for him. How about 6 years and 4 days from now? It's something ridiculous.
I'm in too big of a hurry. I got too many other things to do. You got to do
Yeah.
it quick and do other things.
You go up the city, and then you go to places around there, and you paint. And then you go down to, is it Creek, Walnut?
Walnut Creek, the family home.
Yeah, the family home is, and you had there initially kids. Kids would come. And
I had a preschool.
Preschool.
And-
And then then they sold that. You gave the kids.
I gave the house to my son.
Yeah.
I was done, after 32 years, it was called Annie's Little Farm. We used to
Yes.
write musicals. We had a wonderful
Yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah.
But my legs weren't working great, so it was time
Yeah.
to do something else. So I gave the home to my family and said, bye.
That's the way it should be. But you have a little place there, right?
I do. They built me a nice little studio.
Years ago, we went down there, my wife and I, and you were having a party there, and I think Tom, was it TC?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Tom Constantin was
Yeah.
this is a group called the Grateful Dead, and he played some wonderful piano, and it's just easygoing stuff.
Chet used to come all the time, Chet
yeah.
Holmes.
I miss him a lot.
oh.
He had a valuable commodity, which was his self, that he could
Soul.
talk with people, and but there are those that were around even after he passed. Talk to him like he's just a real jerk. He didn't save enough money. He didn't do this. I mean, who the hell?
He was a beautiful soul.
Oh, yeah, totally. That's what I think. Came up here from Texas with Janis Joplin and got into that whole scene. You've been sort of with all of these people at one time or another, and you're still maintaining who you are. So important, because a lot of people, for me, and what I see, are just sort of walking around nobody people. They're nobody home, you know, they're gone. They've left it what it is they thought they knew as a child, and they're just like, they're not there anymore.
I'm always on a hunt for the next drawing.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
see
huh?
the magic, and I just have to draw it. It's important to keep our spirits up. Whatever it is, hunt for the drawing, or whatever your shows, all your incredible shows, you've
Right.
brought such magic
Oh, yeah,
to our
well,
community
thank
through
you.
this show.
Thank you for saying that. I'm hoping at some point we'll have to put him in a cage, but that's the director of the show. Put him in a cage, and then you could paint him too.
Is that Ed? Is that
Yeah,
his
Ed,
name?
yeah, he's a little weird. Yeah.
No, I thought he was really nice. He came right up and introduced himself. And
Put his hand up your blouse. I
no,
know
he
what the
didn't
hell
do
he's
that.
up to.
No.
Well, anyway.
You rascal.
Yeah, sorry, forgive me. Anyway, that's cool. So that, you know, you're doing that, and that, you know, you're a part of history, and you're happening right now, and that's a big deal.
We're
Big
here.
deal.
When we're here, we might as well. We have choices in how we feel about things. You know, we do make our choices.
You got it. You got it. Yeah. No, the book. Let's just look at. I got all the books of Alan, but fortunately I wasn't able to get them this time. The Pranksters were having a 70th birthday party for Linda Breen. Vinny was quite a guitarist. Jazz all the way. Anybody do anything with this?
Can you see? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was down in Venice Beach.
Yes.
We
yeah.
were having a big dinner for all our friends, and then afterwards we had a big jam.
You think anybody in the audience would even understand or know what the Pranksters were all about?
Ken Kesey. One
Of
flew
course.
over the
Yeah,
cuckoo's
yeah.
nest.
Yeah.
The
Well,
big further.
I wanted to live down in La Honda at the time. I was La Honda nuts, you know, but I grew out of that. But because it was sort of kind of a place where hip people, awake people were, and that. So I don't know, but good time at
Yes,
that.
good times.
Did you bring a little painting or something?
Oh, I didn't. I just
Oh, it's
I left it over
yeah.
there. I figured that would do it. There you are.
Yeah,
there.
these are.
Yeah.
Those are wonderful.
We're going back
We'll look
and
at them.
forth there.
Yeah, these are the people I saw on my travels today, and yeah. So that's what you're doing, getting people and just they like it. They like it.
Just, after having a school for so long, I realized after I put it together, I did kind of put it in kind of like a children's book, but it's not.
I like
It's
it. Yeah.
pages. I mean, there's drawings on
Yeah.
or paintings on every page.
I think it's really sweet, and these, when people look at it because they don't see or know what you are doing necessarily, they see that this is what it was
Right.
This is a litho of what it was originally.
Right. So that one here, let's see if we can turn it around.
Yeah.
That's at the saloon in North Beach.
Oh yeah.
And that's quite a place. They have music there every day, starting at 4:30 until 1 in the morning. And I actually go to bed pretty early, so I really like the 4:30 time. It works
Yeah,
really
yeah.
well for me.
Boy.
And anytime I feel like I want to draw music, I can just go walk a block.
You tell your daughter, please, later that we'll read a piece
Her
because
poetry.
she's a poetress.
Oh, she's an incredible writer.
Yeah,
My daughter Anya.
I think it's about time for us to let it go at this particular time. The stage is looking away at this point, so I can't really tell right now, but he's a great guy. He's been here, and it's the second time doing it. Oh, yeah, and he's got it down. It's a hard thing, because you got all this crap in your ear that somebody's talking to you, and then you got to see what's happening on stage, and then, there's just all this stuff has happened. Then you got to have the state of mind to say, Bruce, it's over, cut it. Well, you let your voice come through, and you've told us a little about who you are. I'd love to go really in a lot more places because I think you're special woman.
We're just
And
having fun.
Well, I know, and then you're putting it out and giving people ideas and the whole thing. And put your hands together for Annie Cohen, please.
Oh, thanks,
Annie,
guys.
thank you so much. And then I'll look at that a little bit later. Oh, here it is now. Give me your hand, please. Thank you. You're a sweetheart. You're just.
So are you, Bruce.
God.
Even though you think you're not, you are. You're incredible.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Thank you. Well, I guess we're going to go back to our friends shortly. And I mentioned, by the way, when we did the show at the beginning, that we would go out with tonight a little piece from Ron Thompson. It's hard to tell what the exact timing is at this particular moment, and that's all right. But what we'll do right now is, because Groovy Judy and the folks are up on stage, they're ready to give us a little bit more of what they're about, and put your hands together for them, please. Here, you folks in the audience. Groovy Judy Band is with us. Hey, 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 hey.
What you say to me? Is it fact or fiction, prose or fable, a little bit of poetry? It's not easy understanding your philosophy, 'cause every little word you speak is so obscene. Say it to me one more time, 'cause I'd love to hear you whine about your pain and your misery. Tell me just once more how much you really do adore all this dysfunctionality. What do you want from me? Help and trust, communication, understanding. What do you need from me? You're pushing, you're pulling, you give and take. Tell me a little heart, my heart is gonna break away. Hey! Watch it crumble. Woman, what the heck do you mean? I always loved you, always thought you were a little queen. Say what's really on your mind. Shouldn't try to read in between the lines. No! Say it to me one more time, 'cause I love to hear you whine about your pain and your misery. Tell me just once more how much you really do adore all this dysfunctionality. What do you want from me? Yeah. Trust, communication, understanding. What do you need from me? You're pushing, you're pulling, you're giving take. Tell my little heart, my heart is gonna break away. Say it to me one more time, 'cause I'd love to hear you whine about your pain and your misery. Tell me just once more how much you really do adore all this dysfunctionality. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Some love, some trust, some understanding. What do you need from me? You're pushing, you're pulling, you give and take. Tell my little heart, my heart is gonna break away. What do you want from me? Love and hope and trust, communication, understanding. What do you need from me? Good God, y'all. What do you want from me? see man is the key, Mr. Vine. I can see the shine of love, ease my troubled mind. Just set the deal, you won't be forgiven. Through the power and joy of love, makes us life we live in love. I forgive you, let go of the grave. Forgive me, and let myself again. The way I choose to live and run, I forgive. Sets my spirit oh so free, yeah. I forgive. The power from above, I forgive. Fills my heart and soul, yeah. Na 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 forgive me. Na 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 forgive me. Na 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 forgive me.
Nice. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Groovy Judy Band. Great to have you on here. I wanted to kind of cut it short because I want to run this little piece for Ron Thompson. Thank you, Annie Cohen, for being here this evening. Thank all you people are just awake and alive and happening. So check us out and you'll see what we got. We'll see you the next time that we come on. All right? All right. Good night, Bruce. Good night, guys.
Silver Toe Boogie.